So for today, our models are in the normal place. We'll go out to the V drive and we'll go to our 256 folder. Um, and we're in lecture 9. So, lecture 9, we're dealing with ramps and stairs. We're going to spend our time today working on that and giving you a chance to experiment with some things. Not horribly complicated, but it merits us discussing. And I slipped a little fun thing in here as far as the problem we'll encounter at the end. And we'll also be incorporating some things from our building technology class as far as how big these stairs are, because anybody can just drag and drop and start drawing stairs, but drawing them properly is what's going to be key in this. So, okay, so we'll open this file. And when you open this file, you'll see that there is a small uh, nondescript little building that we have. Okay, so you see we have a few things going on here. We just have a little nondescript building, nothing special about it. But we have an entry that is above street level, because if we look at a south elevation of our drawing, we'll see our street is at 0 and our top of foundation's down 4 feet down. Then we have our entry at 4 feet above, and then we have first, second, third roof and parapet. And as you'll notice, hopefully this is something that you've been catching. Right now, very much on purpose, we have a difference here, right? Our difference is 10 feet between floors, but why are these showing up as black? I'm going to stop the video and we're going to have a bit of a discussion about it. So what we discovered is that when we have one of these that's showing a datum as blue and one that's black, what that black datum is telling us is that if we look over to the project browser, we do not have a what? We do not have a floor plan that is associated with the second, the third, or the roof levels. So what can we do to remedy that? If we go to the View tab, as was mentioned, and we go to plan views and we say we want to create floor plans. In creating those, we just select, if I leave that there, hold down shift and click on roof, it selects all. Then I can say OK. And once I do that, I now have those plans. And if I go back to my self elevation, now the ones that were previously black turn to blue. So just a little bit there in terms of getting our levels situated, because if we're going to draw stairs to them eventually, we want to be able to recognize that. So as we were saying before, we want to get from the street first. Let's get up to this level. And we're going to need a couple of different things to get up there. We're going to need a set of steps, and we're also going to need a ramp to do that as well. Okay, so we could go for any one of these things first. Let's go for the ramp first, because that's likely something we haven't drawn before. So let's go to the level where we're going to draw from, which is the street, to the level we're going to draw to, which is the entry. Okay, let's pause the video and we'll have a brief discussion. So let's go to the street level. Observe what we see. We see we have a sidewalk and we have a cast concrete landing that we need to get to. So from somewhere on this sidewalk, we want to get up there. So the best way to do that is to first go over to architecture. And once we're on architecture, if we come over to the circulation tab, we can go to ramp. And once we click on that, notice what we get. We can draw a ramp by drawing a boundary or a run. What does that mean? Well, it knows you probably want to go from the street level up to the next level. That's what it's always going to assume. So it's going to assume we want to go to the entry level with no base or top offset in this situation. So if I started drawing out here for some reason, that's as long as my ramp is, right? And if I brought this ramp over, once I drew it and I moved it, right, and clicked it right here and said, okay, I'm finished. There's my ramp. All right, now it's saying it's not long enough to reach the top constraint, but if I look at a view of the south elevation. I'm seeing that I have a ramp that's going, basically, it's not going to the top, is it? Why is it not going to the top? Let's pause the video and talk about something. So we discussed that the problem with our ramp right now is that we do not have any landings, and we can't go more than 2 feet 6 inches or 30 inches without having a landing and changing directions and going another way. So let's delete this because Revit didn't like it anyway, and let's try to draw another ramp. Let's go here and let's click on ramp, and we're just going to use the run feature right now. I'm going to start here at the street and I'm going to go so far, and notice I can type in, right, because that's as long as I can make that. But if I type in, it says in a very difficult to see way, 0 feet of ramp created, 48 feet remaining. I've got to go. It's saying I got 48, what? 48, not 48 feet, 48 inches, 48 feet remaining, basically. So I'm going to type in, I don't know, 9 foot 0. Okay? So there's 9 foot right there. Now I'm going to change directions, which means I'm going to place it somewhere in this direction. I'm going to click. And now, once I start going this direction, let's say I'm going to go 12 feet. You see, it creates that landing for me. And then I'm going to just come here and notice what? If I draw that far, if I go that 27 feet, it's saying 27 feet remaining, and I just click, it seems as if I have a ramp where I need it to be. Now, let's adjust some things. Notice over here, it's saying that my ramp is 4 feet wide. Let's verify that. I'm just going to verify that this ramp is 4 feet wide. Yes, it is. How deep is my landing? We'll learn when we start talking about accessibility that when we turn, our landing or our change in direction needs to be at least as deep as it is wide. But we said we were going to go 5 feet in our landing, so that's what we're going to do. How can we do that? Let's go ahead and pause this, and we'll pick it back up in the next video.